Good evening, televiewers. Welcome to Prime Hour, the first edition of the week on My Media Prime. On this edition of Prime Hour, we're going to be revisiting the so much talked about Resolution 1608 in relation to the ongoing crisis rocking the southwest and northwest regions. It is a resolution that has been given different meanings by different persons to suit a particular positions. We're looking at it like the blind man and the elephant, which gave different meanings to it, and we're asking ourselves why it has been difficult to get a single and comprehensive position that clarifies doubt on what that resolution actually stipulated. And we are going also to be looking as to why there is so much attachment to a resolution that only confirm an action that was taken during the plebiscite. Which is more important? Is it the vote of choosing where to go to, or a resolution that was taken by an instance to confirm that vote? We are discussing, looking at the legal implications of that resolution with two panelists in the house this evening. We have Professor Julius Victor Ngoh, who has been Deputy Vice Chancellor at the University of Boya, as well as the Registrar, has also served as a Deputy Vice Chancellor at the level of the University of Bamenda, is currently the President of the Catholic University Institute of the Diocese of Boya. He is a historian par excellence, one of the most venerated in the nation Cameroon. Good evening, Prof. We're glad to have you.
Yeah, thank you very much, and very happy to be here with the Leonard barrister.
Okay, we also are in the company of Senior Barrister Ashu Emmanuel, who is the National President of the Reform Party. Good evening, Senior Barrister. We're glad to have you.
Good evening, Mr. Leo. Good evening to my senior brother.
Okay.
My senior brother, I may say my mentor, because we had to, we're following in their footsteps to become great people. Good evening to televiewers. I hope we're going to have an interesting debate.
Okay, here we are talking about the future of the trust territory of the Cameroons under the United Kingdom administration resolution adopted by the General Assembly. Agenda was 4534, and we have there record based on this list, and we say voting summary: yes 64, no 23, abstention 10, non-voting 2, total voting membership 99. That we are talking about resolution 1608, the future of the trust territory of Cameroon under the United Kingdom administration. The General Assembly recalling its resolution 1315 of 13th of March 1959 concerning the future of the trust territory of the Cameroons under the United Kingdom administration, in which the General Assembly recommended inter alia the administering authority take steps in cumulation with the United Nations plebiscite commissioner for the Cameroons under United Kingdom administration to organize under the supervision of the United Nations separate plebiscites in the northern and southern parts of the Cameroon under the United Kingdom administration, in order to ascertain the wishes of the inhabitants of the territory concerning their future, and that the plebiscite in northern Cameroons be held about the middle of November 1959 on the basis of the two questions set out in paragraph 2. But now let us look at it briefly. Why do we find it difficult to get a common position as to the clear directives of this resolution?
Yeah, thank you very much. Without and wasting too much time, I think it is because first of all, Cameroonians do not know their history. Secondly, those who know their history tend to distort it in order to achieve a particular goal. And this makes it very, very difficult to have the true history. And for you to have the true history, you must be prepared to accept insults, even from those who don't even know what they are talking about. That is the problem. And as far as history is concerned, history is based on authentic documents. It's based on facts. History is not based on sentiments. It's not based on emotion. History is based on what occurred, what took place. You might not agree with what occurred or what took place or what was said, but the fact that it was said, you must accept that it was said the way it was said. So we have this problem because some Cameroonians refuse to accept the harsh reality, which is that their choice or their political choice was not accepted and was not contained in UN Resolution 1608 of 21st April 1961.
Yeah, but what did that resolution actually say concerning the territories that were under the trusteeship of Britain at the time?
Well, first of all, Resolution 1608, paragraph 2 and 3, they both endorse the plebiscite results. One of the paragraphs, that 3 and 4, says the results should be implemented immediately. Another one said the termination of UK trusteeship administration should be done 1st of midnight, 30th September 1961, that is 1st October 1961. And most importantly, paragraph 5 invites the administering authority, that is the United Kingdom, the Republic of Cameroon, and Southern Cameroons, to initiate measures in order to implement the resolution, which means what? Implement the resolution, which the ultimate goal is termination of UK trusteeship administration and Southern Cameroons achieving independence by joining the Republic of Cameroon. It should be underscored that that same resolution 1608 also dealt with British Northern Cameroons and made it clear that as far as British Northern Cameroons is concerned, British trusteeship and administration should end, and British Northern Cameroons will achieve independence by joining the Federation of Nigeria on the 1st of June 1961. So what is important is paragraph 5, which invites Britain, Republic of Cameroon, and Southern Cameroon to initiate measures which will ultimately lead to Southern Cameroons achieving independence by joining the Republic of Cameroon. And it is important to note that that resolution did not ask Britain, Southern Cameroons, and the Republic of Cameroon to come back and get clearance for the implementation of what that was arrived have been asked to.
Yeah. Now I'll read some of it. 4 says decides that the plebiscites having taken place separately with different results of the trusteeship agreement of 13 December 1946 concerning the Cameroon under the United Kingdom administration shall be terminated in accordance with Article 76B of the Charter of the United Nations and in agreement with the administering authority in the following manner. A. With respect to the Northern Cameroon, on June 1961, upon its joining the Federation of Cameroon as a separate province of the
Federation of Nigeria.
Federation of Nigeria, sorry, as a separate province of the Northern region of Nigeria. B. With respect to the Southern Cameroon, on the 1st of October, upon the joining of the Republic of Cameroon. And then 5, like you said, says invites the administering authority, the government of Southern Cameroon and the Republic of Cameroon to initiate urgent discussions with a view of finalizing before the 1st of 1961, October 1961, the arrangements by which the agreed and declared policies of the parties concerned will be implemented. Where is the problem today?
Thank you, Mr. Leo. The problem today stems from many angles.
Okay.
First, the problem is, as you said, this resolution is receiving many interpretations. And a professor said, well, people tend to twist it their own direction to suit their political inclinations. That is the first problem, because to find a solution, we have to know the nature of this resolution. What was it?
Okay.
Was it a historic instrument? Was it a legal instrument? Or is it a political instrument? In my humble opinion, it was a legal instrument. It's a UN General Assembly resolution. It's an instrument of international law. And if it's an instrument of international law, it should be governed by the rules of legal interpretation. So all the interpretations you are getting are like you asking a mechanic to explain philosophy.
Okay.
Because legal interpretation has rules. And I think in this particular case, there are only two of them that can interest us: the golden rule and the mischief rule. Those are only two of those rules interest us in this case.
Okay. So
people who want to bend it to have political gains, they are mistaken, because it's a legal instrument. Now, since it's a legal instrument, what does this instrument say? There is no confusion to be made between Resolution 1608, which was an independence vote and its execution, and the plebiscite, which was a question put to the territories. Which way do you want to go? And the North said, okay, we are going to Nigeria. Southern Cameroon said, we are going to join our brothers. Now, the independence vote was intended to determine the future of the North and the South. You are going to the North, you are going to the South, you are going to with your brothers. How are you going? That was the purpose of 1608. And so when you look at it, Resolution 2 clearly states. First of all, Resolution 1 says the UN takes cognizance of the plebiscite results. And 2A says they recognize the independence of Northern Cameroons by joining the Federation of Nigeria as an independent region, province of that state. And B, independence of Southern Cameroons by joining the Republic of Cameroon.
By joining the independent Republic of Cameroon. Yes.
Thank you. So the problem here is the modus vivendi. As I was saying, what should apply is the rules of interpretation. Here in this case, we'll look at the mischief rule. What mischief did this statute intend to cure? What was the mischief it intended to cure? It intended to determine the way these territories are going to live with the various territories to which they are going to be attached. So that is it. So I don't see how somebody should twist it to take political gain.
Yeah, but it is clear. This is the resolution. It states that the people of Southern Cameroon have similarly decided to achieve independence by joining the independent Republic of Cameroon. 3. Considers that the people of the two parts of the trust territory, having freely and sacredly expressed their wishes with regards to their respective futures in accordance with General Assembly Resolution 1352 and 1472, the decisions made by them through democratic process under the supervision of the United Nations should be immediately implemented. That is the resolution. These people say they are going to Nigeria. These others say they are going to Cameroon. These decisions, we are saying that immediately it should be implemented. You say there's a mischief.
No, the mischief rule is a rule of interpretation, sir.
Okay.
It's a legal rule of interpretation of statute. So I'm saying in this particular case, the rule that concerns us is the mischief rule, because we are asking ourselves, what mischief did this rule intend to cure? And I'm saying that it is the modus, it intended to put down the modus vivendi. How do they live? How are they going to live together? That's it. And that is clearly spelled out in resolution 5.
Yeah.
Clearly. So I don't see how that can be turned to profit politicians. It's something.
Yeah, but why do we give it's so many interpretations to something that is too clear?
You see, as I've said, most Cameroonians don't know their history. I repeat it, and it is very important that the government should assume its responsibility and ensures that Cameroonians from primary school understand and know their history. Because without knowing your history, there are problems you will get yourself into because you do not understand what you are doing. As far as Resolution 1608 is concerned, there are some Cameroonians, some historians, for whatever reason, they argue very strongly that Resolution 1608 paragraph 5 says the United Kingdom, Republic of Cameroon, and Southern Cameroon should initiate measures, which means that they should meet and agree on the termination of UK administration. And they argue that no meeting took place, and that's where I said they are wrong. These three countries held tripartite meetings to discuss how the independence by joining will be effected. There was, first of all, the Boya tripartite meeting of May 1961. The United Kingdom, the Republic of Cameroon, and Southern Cameroon. The meeting took place in Boya. May 22 to 24, 1961, a bilateral meeting took place in Yaoundé. It was during that meeting, at the end of the meeting, Amadou Ahidjo gave Foncha the draft federal constitution. The secret meeting, 22nd of May to 24th of May 1961. The second tripartite meeting took place again in Boya in June 1961. And that tripartite meeting was chaired by J.O. Field.
Do we have minutes of these meetings you're citing?
We do.
Okay.
Yeah. I have some of them here.
That was the British administrator. The last British administrator.
J.O. Field chaired that meeting. The British and delegation was led by Sir Roger Stevens from the Foreign Office, Christopher Eastwood from the Colonial Office. For the Republic of Cameroon, the delegation was led by Amadou Ahidjo and the Foreign Minister Charles Okala. For Southern Cameroon, the delegation was led by John Ngoh Foncha, Augustin Ngomjoa, Estimona, and PM Kemcha. And they all agreed what should obtain. From the Boya tripartite meeting of June 1961, they now went to Bamenda, the All Bamenda Constitutional Conference, from the 26th to the 28th of June 1961. And the essence was what? To discuss the draft constitution. To discuss the constitution. Southern Cameroon had to get prepared for the Fumban conference, which was coming or built for July 1961. Unfortunately, Foncha did not present that draft constitution.
To his people.
And surprisingly, some historians for quite some time refused to accept the harsh reality. But fortunately, the documents are now clear.
No, Prof.
Yes.
I want us to stay with the wordings here because many persons are talking about this.
No, that's what.
Okay.
Yeah,
Allow him land.
Yeah, that's where I'm
okay.
coming to. So when the Constitution, the draft Constitution constitution was not presented in Bamenda. Of course, the Southern Cameroon delegation went to Fumban, and they were surprised to be presented with the draft federal constitution and said, this is what we are working on. So what I'm saying is that you had the Boya tripartite conference of May 1961, the Boya tripartite conference of June 1961, and crown it all, the Yaoundé tripartite conference of August 1961. That Yaoundé tripartite conference is the key, because although most Cameroonians talk a lot of a Fumban conference, I want to state categorically, no constitution was adopted at the Fumban conference. What emerged from Fumban conference were constitutional proposals which were put in the constitutional and legal form in Yaoundé, August 1961. That should be made very, very clear. And so when 1608 called on Britain, Republic of Cameroon and Southern Cameroon, initiate measures, means what? Initiate discussions. And these discussions were held at these 3 different meetings, which culminated with the Yaoundé tripartite talks, during which the constitution was agreed. It is important to note why some problems are coming up. At the Yaoundé talks, there were 2 sets of meetings, and Cameroonians should understand this. The Yaoundé talks ran from the 2nd of August to the 7th of August. Between the 2nd of August and the 4th of August, it was a bilateral meeting, Republic of Cameroon and Southern Cameroon, during which the draft constitution was accepted. This is very, very important, during which the draft constitution was accepted. So at the tripartite talks per se, which ran from the 5th of August to the 7th of August, Eastwood, who led the UK delegation, was told by Amadou Ahidjo, the Republic of Cameroon and Southern Cameroon have agreed on a federal constitution. That's what Ahidjo told the British delegation. The Republic of Cameroon and Southern Cameroon have agreed on a federal constitution. And the British delegation thanked Amadou Ahidjo and Southern Cameroon for having resolved that problem.
Okay, I will still read. Decides that the plebiscite having been taken separately with different results, the trusteeship agreement of 13 December 1946 concerning the Cameroons under the United Kingdom administration shall be terminated in accordance with Article 76B of the Charter of the United Nations and in agreement with the administering authority in the following manner. Now, it shall be terminated. It actually says that it shall be terminated. But today...
No, read to the end, please.
Okay. Okay, with respect to Northern Cameroon on 1st of June 1961, upon its joining the Federation of Cameroon, of Nigeria as a separate province of the northern region of Nigeria. With respect to Southern Cameroon on the 1st of October 1961, upon its joining the Republic of Cameroon, that is the termination of the mandates or powers over this territory shall be, that is, they are assuming that this resolution by this time marks the end of British administration in both northern and yes, but today
that's Article 4, right?
Yes.
5.
Yes, but 5 says that invites the administering authority.
That is the important part.
Yeah,
yes, that's the British.
Yeah,
invites the administering authority, the government of Southern Cameroon and the Republic of Cameroon to initiate urgent discussions with a view of finalizing before October 1961.
Before 1st October
1961.
Yeah.
The arrangements by which the agreed and declared policies of parties concerned will be implemented.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. You see, Professor touched the nail on the head. You see, that is where the bone of contention is, because some people say the parties, well, there were no tripartite meetings. I'm happy that he has actually given a rundown of the tripartite meetings, especially the Boya and Bamenda meetings, which are never cited. Those were, I mean, those are facts that nobody can dispute. I have evidence of all that. Now, those meetings were not geared. They were not geared towards Southern Cameroon's joining Republic of Cameroon. They geared towards defining the modus vivendi, and it was not going to be some verbal agreement, because those decisions had to culminate in some agreement. And when they say agreement, it is something in writing. If you make an agreement and there's no writing, what is the evidence that there was an agreement? That is where the problem starts. There was, I mean, after all that, there is no written document materializing any agreement. We know there were discussions. Both historians and lawyers agree there were discussions. But what was the result? What was the end product of those discussions? There is no writing. Let us go now to what he was saying, because he said they agreed on the constitution. That is where the lawyers come in. If you agree on the constitution, Southern Cameroon had a bicameral parliament. The Republic of Cameroon had a parliament. Why was the parliament of Southern Cameroon sidelined in the adoption of the constitution that was supposed to have been agreed by the parties? Why did the Republic of Cameroon alone take that draft constitution to its own parliament and have it adopted as a constitutional amendment? And we don't have any trace of a similar constitutional amendment in Southern Cameroon. Why? I want, well, maybe the historian may have some clarification to give us in that respect.
So the problem is the UN resolution, actually, UN resolution 1608 says that the administering authority, the government of Southern Cameroon and Republic of Cameroon, should engage discussions that were supposed to happen before the 1st of October.
They did happen.
They did happen.
They did happen, but they were the document that was supposed to materialize all those discussions does not exist.
Yeah, but I don't see anywhere where it is spelled out that there should be a document. I don't know.
Can I come in here, please?
Yes.
Want to make some points clear.
Okay.
For quite some time, you see, at times it is good to take a credit. At the Yaoundé tripartite talks,
yeah,
after Ahidjo had said the Republic of Cameroon and Southern Cameroon had agreed on the constitution, and Ahidjo went further to state the draft constitution will be debated and adopted in the Republic of Cameroon in August 1961. At the Yaoundé tripartite talks, Augustin Ngomjua, let's get it clear, we should not just be talking superficially. Augustin Ngomjua took the floor and said, yes, it is good that the National Assembly of the Republic of Cameroon will deliberate and adopt it, which it eventually did with the no vote coming only from the UPC. When Augustin Ngomjua raised the issue during the Yaoundé tripartite talks, the Attorney General B.G. Smith, who was a member of the Southern Cameroon's delegation, said whatever constitution the Republic of Cameroon adopts, Southern Cameroon is bound to accept. It is not Ngoh saying it. I have it. And surprisingly, those Southern Cameroon's representatives did not argue. We're talking of history, what happened. Because the only person who raised a voice and it was said, whatever, based on the plebiscite question, whatever constitution the Republic of Cameroon adopts, Southern Cameroon is bound to accept it. So now, how was the termination and transfer of sovereignty to be done? That is the crux of the matter. Independence doesn't, there are 3 ways of achieving independence, and I'm sure my legal mind knows that. And one of them is exchange of notes. I'm very, very convinced the legal landed authority knows that, exchange of notes. So at the Yaoundé tripartite talks, called upon to initiate discussions which will lead to the termination and independence of Southern Cameroon by joining the Republic of Cameroon on the 1st of October. The British produced a draft exchange note, what they were proposing, and proposed to the Southern Cameroon delegation and the delegation of the Republic of Cameroon. This is what we propose. We are leaving you a copy to study, and it is here.
Okay,
it is there.
Okay.
You can even read for the...
Okay, let me just read. President Ahidjo, part of the federation until such a time as it is decided that they will be transferred to the federation as a whole. The provisions of this draft constitution further lay down that as from the 1st of October, the president of Cameroon, of the Cameroon Republic, will be the president of the federated Cameroons. Another provision of the Constitution provides for the fact that as from the 1st of October, the President of the Federation will name the federal ministers so that as far as the transfer is concerned, as from the 1st October, those powers that will be federal ones will be transferred to the President of the Federation. As for the other federal powers which will provisionally remain with the 2 federated states, those powers which are now the responsibility of the British Commissioner will be transferred to the Southern Cameroons, and eventually we will transmit to the British government these proposals in full as soon as possible. Yeah. Okay, this is just
the one by Eastwood.
By Eastwood, okay. Yeah. Eastwood says, well, as I have already said, we on this side of the table are delighted to hear that this agreement has been reached, and thank you for telling us some of the principal points in it. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
I didn't hear the part where they said Republic of Cameroon should legiferate for Southern Cameroon.
This is continuing.
Okay. He goes further to say, I think it is perhaps really not quite the right expression to talk of a transfer of sovereignty, as we are advised by a lawyer that all that will really happen is that on the 1st October, on midnight of the 30th September, our responsibility will cease, and we will just to use an English phrase, fade out of the picture. The advice our lawyer is a suggestion which we should like to make to you, that there should simply be, before the 30th of September, an exchange of notes. On or about the 15th of September, an exchange of notes between the 2 governments. And we have here a translation we could hand over to you on the suggested exchange of notes. I have one copy of it in English, and which I will give Mr. Foncha to share with I don't know, Monsieur Muna, Joa, and is Kemiha? Kemcha, okay. This is not a matter on which we want to take a positive action at the moment. So perhaps I will ask our ambassador to take this matter up with your foreign minister. It reduces what at one time looked a very large problem to a very small proportion. It is not often that one finds one's legal advisors so helpful in reducing complicated issues. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying, because the misconception is that they should have been signed an agreement or something deposited at the UN Secretariat or what. An exchange of notes is accepted in international law.
Okay.
An exchange of notes is accepted in international law. And that's what was done, because the exchange of notes took place September 1961.
Okay. Now, why is there so much emphasis on this resolution and not on the acts of the plebiscite itself? Because the acts of the plebiscite also already decided the will of the people on where to go.
Thank you, Mr. Leo. I'm very happy that the learned historian has proven to us that Southern Cameroon had nothing to do with that final constitution that was enacted by the Republic of Cameroon Assembly. Because you see, all what we have here, these are proposals coming from the discussions. A party can never be bound by proposals. I mean, it's unheard of. You cannot tell me that because an issue has been discussed, you are bound by it. This is not, even in terms of the business we're doing with Biafrans, it had never been like that.
Let's get it clear, please. The British proposed the exchange of notes, the wedding, and gave the parties consent, go and study, and with the help of our ambassador.
Can we see the notes that Southern Cameroons gave to Republic of Cameroon accepting all their proposals? Can we see them?
Of course. No. You see, the point is this.
When you were talking, I just allow you now. Just allow me to answer.
Let me just make one point clear. The point is this. I would appreciate when we are arguing, informing the public, teaching the public. We should be able to have done our homework. Well, go to the archive, because the tendency is that you should come and with the documents. Colleagues should go to the archives, do their homework, and then they should not come and expect us, some of us, to go and do the homework, bring their documents. There are documents there in the archives, in Boya, and you don't pay a franc.
Okay.
Can I now continue, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, because in essence, you are saying that Southern Cameroon gave a mandate to Republic of Cameroon to legislate on his behalf, right? Is that what you're saying? If that's the case, I want you to provide to the Cameroonian people that mandate. Don't tell me that it is exchange of notes, because exchange of notes can never amount to a mandate to legislate in your lieu and place. It can never. Now, I want to remind you that even in today's Constitution of Republic of Cameroon, the one we have today, any international treaty, because 16085 5 gave room for an international treaty. That agreement is a treaty between two states. When you say the government of Southern Cameroon and independent Republic of Cameroon, those are two states.
Was there a treaty between Northern Cameroon and Nigeria?
Please, I'm talking Southern Cameroon and Republic. Leave Nigeria.
But it's the
please.
It's the same 1608.
No. Their own was not drafted in the same manner. It was not. Their own was never. Look at.
They had the same exchange of notes.
Please, when I'm talking, you interrupt me. When you are talking, I sit quiet.
Just go on.
I am saying, Northern Nigeria, they said by joining Independent Republic of Nigeria, a Federation of Nigeria, as an independent province. Period. It was for Southern Cameroon that they said the three parties should sit. The Northern Nigeria side, part, the Northern Cameroon part, there was no obligation for the parties to sit down. If there was, show me. Instead of 1608, there wasn't. It is for Southern Cameroon to say the parties have to sit down and come up with an agreement in which they are going to say how the parties will agree to live together. So I am saying that agreement is a treaty at law, international law, and we know no international treaty is binding on any party except the party ratifies it. Even if you are signed. If you don't ratify it in your assembly, it is null and void. I am telling you. You know it.
Okay.
So, at the end of all these talks, we find Republic of Cameroon coming up with a constitutional amendment of what Professor presents as a draft constitution that had been agreed. And I want to follow him. He said Southern Cameroon went to Bamenda. Only Foncha alone knew about the constitution. They came to Ewane. Only Foncha alone knew. So when did the entire Southern Cameroon cabinet know about the resolution, about the draft constitution? When? You see, when you follow closely, you see that there is ample evidence that the Southern Cameroon delegation was not fully aware of what was happening until that last day. And we are informed that it was because of the disagreement in the hall. The Southern Cameroonians signed nothing. I want to remind you, Resolution 1514 on decolonized territories states, I think in that Article 7, that no agreement shall bind any territory to be decolonized that territory has not endorsed. Where is the endorsement by Southern Cameroon? Where?
Okay.
So I am saying forcefully that there is no evidence anywhere that Southern Cameroon gave a mandate to Republic of Cameroon to legislate on its behalf, because Southern Cameroon had a parliament, a bicameral parliament.
Yep, but the resolution 1608 says that this is what was supposed to happen before October 1st,
we agree.
1961.
We agree.
Now, if these things that we are saying were not undertaken, why did politicians of this part of Cameroon find themselves in a government after 1961?
Thank you. I have evidence that 1963, Foncha wrote to are you asking when are we signing the Union Treaty? I have the letter. Foncha wrote to Ahijo in 1963, meaning that no, I don't have nobody. I can give you later.
No,
no, let him finish.
Go ahead, Barrister.
I think that there was malice. There was malice in the act of getting one parliament out of the two to legislate. There is no explanation, because if both parties had agreed, if they were at item, there would have been a unified approach. They might have said, okay, while you are doing your own day, we do our own here, and all of us agree.
I want us to stay within the context of this. They say that discussions should take place before October 1st. And Foncha is writing in 1963. Which means that they themselves did not respect what was stipulated.
Let me remind you of something that is not said or written by history books, but I got the information. These people were influenced by Kwame Nkrumah. They are Pan-Africanists. You see, Kwame Nkrumah came. He was around here during that period. It's not reported, but he was here, and he was the one who told Foncha and his team, look, you people have agreed in principle, let's just let the thing go. We want African unity. You see? But on a legal standpoint, these people did not even know what was happening in the Republic of Cameroon. If they knew, okay, look at what was drafted as a constitution. I have it here. Look at the terms and tell me whether that is actually something that was done with the knowledge of Southern Cameroonians or with their consent.
Drafted by who?
The 1961 Constitution.
You see,
the Constitution of 4th of March. Okay. Sorry, this is the first one. Constitution of 4th of March.
Senior Barrister.
That was modified.
Senior Barrister, let Prof just come. Then
let me just explain one or two things. You see, we are here to educate the public. Nobody should try to give the impression that we are supporting one camp or the other. We are here to educate the public. What should be understood is that when Foncha was given the draft federal constitution, that was done in two instances. In Yaoundé, May 1961, and in Boya, June 1961. And J.O. sent a confidential, a secret memo to the UK Minister of State for Colonies that Ahijo, during his visit, left behind the draft federal constitution. And Foncha discussed it with a close team of his ministers, close team, and certain proposals were made. They get it well, and certain proposals were made. It was assumed that the Bamenda or Constitutional Conference was to come up with the position of Southern
Correct, I agree.
And Cameroons.
Agreed.
When they got there, Foncha did not present that draft. So from the word go, Foncha, you should understand, the KNDP was the ruling government party. So whatever position the KNDP took, and by Foncha as the leader of the KNDP and Prime Minister of Southern Cameroon, it engaged Southern Cameroons.
And where was that decision? Where can we find that decision?
Wait. Whatever Foncha did as leader of the KNDP party and Prime Minister of Southern Cameroon engaged the country. That was why when they went to Fumban, the Southern Cameroons, the PM nearly took the floor and said, some of us are seeing this draft constitution for the first time. That's what he said. So what I'm telling you is that I know what you are saying is nothing new to some of us. So the bottom line is this: when you are blaming A or B, understand that Foncha, head of government, whatever act or action he took, he was engaging Southern Cameroon as the Prime Minister. And you have to also understand that at this period, Southern Cameroon was still administered by the UK. Southern Cameroon was not a state.
Who said so?
No, I'm saying it.
Okay.
Southern Cameroon was not a state. It was still administered by the UK. So when 608, UN Resolution 608 called on these three parties, initiate discussions which will end with the termination of UK administration. And those discussions were held. And the three parties finally agreed on what? Exchange of notes as one of the principles.
Yeah, but they say it invites the administering authority, the government of Southern Cameroon and the Republic of Cameroon, to initiate urgent discussions with a view of to finalizing before the 1st of October. But now there was, you say, there was a bicameral assembly this way and this other way. But I don't know. These other guys, they had the powers to veto the move. I don't know whether it was at the level of referendum, but at this could the politicians from Southern Cameroon at the time, could they not oppose what was happening on this side?
Is it to me or to him?
To both of you.
You see,
because
this is what I like for us to discuss. Mm-hmm. The general tendency is to blame the Republic of Cameroon for all the ills of Southern Cameroon.
That's not true.
The general tendency, which is false. I say this because in the Southern Cameroon's House of Assembly, on the 13th of September 1961, Peter Motombi Woleta of the CPNC took the floor. Let me say, took the floor. After having read Article 47, he took the floor and said, Mr. Foncha, I hope you will go back to Yaoundé and tell Ahidjo we made an error here. That's it. That's what Cameroonians don't know. They just talk. Motombi Woleta took the floor on the 13th of September 1961 in the Southern Cameroon House of Assembly.
He was talking with respect to which article?
Article 47.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I hope, Mr. Foncha, I hope you will go to Yaoundé and tell President Ahidjo we made an error here.
Okay. Can I now talk, Mr.
Okay, yes.
Thank you. I want to correct something, or maybe Professor is not aware. He said that Southern Cameroon was not a state. let me remind him that Southern Cameroon had a constitution, which I have in my hand here. On the one hand, on the other, 16085. Can you just, for the purpose of clarifying the audience, the parties to attend the
Invite
consultation?
administering authority.
1.
The government of Southern Cameroon.
Government of Southern Cameroon.
And the Republic
Is it,
of...
do associations have government?
Wait, don't rush, don't rush.
Senior Barrister, please. It talks about invite administering authority, the government of Southern Cameroon and the Republic of Cameroon. But then one would ask that administering authority of what?
Britain, Great Britain. That
Yeah,
one is
but
not in doubt.
they were administering authority of what?
It's not in doubt now. Now look, let me tell you. I said,
Okay, yeah, go on. Go on.
please, before in 1960, Southern Cameroon was upgraded to an independent province within the Federation of Nigeria. After the Lancaster house talks.
An independent what? No, it's not true.
It's not true.
Yeah, it is not true.
Okay,
It was not expected to an
No,
independent province.
I want us to clarify positions here because
Yes.
because
Allow me talk now.
Article 2 sub B says the people of Southern Cameroon have similarly decided to achieve independence by joining the Independent Republic of Cameroon.
Yeah, you are diverting from the question.
Okay,
He
go
said
on.
Southern Cameroon
No,
was not a
I'm not
state.
posing
No,
the
wait.
question. Go on, okay.
Allow me finish with this
Yeah.
one. He said Southern Cameroon is a state. I said there are 2 points. 1, 16085 talks of the government of Southern Cameroon. Only states have government. That's the first point. Second one, this is a constitution of Southern Cameroon. I don't know whether you have ever seen it. This is it. Let me read. The first schedule, orders of council revoked by this order. The second schedule, oath of or affirmation for the due execution of the office of commissioner at the court at Balmoral, the 12th day of September 1960. Present, the Queen's Most Excellent Majesty in Council, Her Majesty by virtue and in exercise of the powers in that behalf by the Foreign Jurisdiction Act 890A, or otherwise in Her Majesty vested, is pleased by and with the advice of her Privy Council to order, and it is hereby ordered as follows. Chapter 1, Introductory. Citation, commencement, and revocations. 1. This order may be cited as the Southern Cameroon's Constitution, Order in Council 1960. Look at it. If what I'm saying is not correct, look at it. That is Southern Cameroon Constitution.
Can I explain that?
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
You want to explain the statute?
No, can I explain? Can I please? The Article
Is it
5.
correct? Am I reading correctly?
Yeah, but
Please.
if this is a
Is that a
constitution-
constitution or not?
Please, can I come in?
Okay, yeah, you're the historian. Go on.
The Southern Cameroons, May, June, when the constitution you have cited when operational in June 1960, Southern Cameroon was still a trust territory.
And so?
So it was.
It could not be a state.
Wait.
I'll come to that.
Wait. Southern Cameroon was still a trust territory, and it could not on its own. The Prime Minister, for instance, could not negotiate a treaties. That one is clear. You are a lawyer. Frontier could not negotiate or sign treaties, and this came out very strongly in October 1960, when after the Ahidjo Frontier discussion from the 11th to the 13th of October 1960, the October Declaration was signed, and the CPNC complained, and JOF made it clear that Frontier signed it as head of a party, because it said signed by Amadou Ahidjo, President of the Republic of Cameroon, signed by Frontier, head of KNDP party. Frontier could not negotiate, could not sign a treaties.
Okay, yeah, but this was done. Where was this constitution done?
June. Where
was it done?
That is the British orders in council.
Okay.
British orders in council.
Yes.
I don't know what is the link. What is the link between these British orders in council and the constitution as a state per se?
As a
constitution.
A state constitution for is signed by. It is not signed by the British.
Okay.
This was signed by the British.
Okay.
So let him say it,
Mr.
Now,
Leo.
which means that are you saying that according to Resolution 1608, which states that Britain was supposed to hands off the affairs of Southern Cameroons, Southern Cameroons were supposed to work on a different constitution?
No, Britain was supposed to sign for Southern Cameroon. Let him say so.
No.
No, they had no right to sign that. Britain was supposed to sign for them. Why did they not sign?
Don't put
Senior Barrister, please.
never
Let us develop point.
Yes.
It is not a ping pong game here.
No.
Please.
Can I now finish my argument? Because you have been interrupting me.
You are not answering my question. My question is, the plebiscite took place.
Yes.
Why are we not focusing on the decision of the people, but hanging on a resolution that was taken by the United Nations?
Oh, thank you. The
people
resolution
decided.
was the plebiscite was organized by the very United Nations.
Yes.
And the resolution you are talking about here
Endorsed the decision of the people.
was a resolution that endorsed the people's decision.
Yes.
And went ahead now to define the way the parties were going to live together.
Okay.
That is it. We are not keeping away one to focus on the other. The resolution of 1608 came to provide the modus vivendi, and we are saying forcefully that that was flawed.
Okay.
It was flawed because you see, like the professor is saying, we have the impression that historians think that Southern Cameroon was not a state, as he is saying. Then the UN must have been mad to talk of the government of Southern Cameroon. And then look, he is talking about Southern Cameroon not being a state because Foncha could not sign anything. No. Canada up to today is under the British dominion, under the dominion of the Queen. Am I lying or speaking the truth? Australia is under the dominion of the Queen. This is the same thing in the land. I mean, it's acts within the monarchy, the British monarchy. The Queen is the head of state, and the Prime Minister is head of government. So that is a state. Do you want to tell me that today, like this, Canada is not a state because it is not a republic?
No. I want to.
Article 5 of
please.
the UN Charter says what? Britain is responsible for the administrative and legislative and judicial. So, yeah, Britain is responsible.
They have legislated.
Yeah, which
They legislated.
which means that Southern.
No, excuse me.
They legislated. This is
That's what I'm saying. That is Article 5.
Senior Barrister, can we be orderly, please?
That's Article 5.
Article 5.
Yes.
Should I read it again?
Yes, Article 5 of UN Charter giving Britain responsibility to administer the territory.
No,
you mean trusteeship agreement?
Yes.
No, not charter.
Yeah, but do we agree? Do we agree?
I have given you this document, now, Mr. Leo.
No, you did not.
I have given you.
You promised. You promised. Now the issue is we are now falling back on the British. But I remember that the British were petitioned recently by
local standard. Local standard. I mean, before you petition anybody, where are your grounds? Where are your standing?
Yes, on what right?
On what ground are you standing?
On what
As who are you talking?
Yeah, but the problem is the response is that the British have no competence, and that they were done with their job, because going by Resolution 1608, it says that after this time, Britain is supposed to hand off the administration of this territory because the territory is now joined to another party.
Mr. Leo, that should not be cited anywhere because...
And the British actually informed the United Nations in February 1962 that our job was done and terminated. February 1962.
I was saying that, you see, what that individual went to do in England binds only him alone.
Why?
Who does he represent? Who does he represent? I mean, that thing should not be cited anywhere because that man was acting for himself, not even for his family, because he had no power of attorney from anybody to talk on behalf of any other person than himself. So, please, I don't want that thing to be cited anywhere. You see, what I'm saying here is that when you look at the situation, Southern Cameroon had a constitution. The Republic of Cameroon had a constitution. This is the constitution of the Republic of Cameroon. Constitution of 4th March 1960. This is their constitution. And this is the one of Southern Cameroon. But when you look at the historical facts they're putting, they downplay the Southern Cameroon constitution and make as if it was nothing. It was a inexistent document. This constitution was enacted by the British institutions, the Queen of England, the highest authority. No Englishman has ever challenged it.
You see, I'm not arguing on that. I'm not arguing.
Let him let
because he gives the impression that I'm arguing. What I'm saying is this.
You are just stating the point.
Yeah, this is what Southern Cameroon did.
That there was a constitution.